It was pretty fun, McGraw. It was pretty fun.
I watched a number of the outlets, and I saw hardened journalists geeking out over this wedding.
You know why? I think we all just needed a little diversion. Just a little diversion from the day-to-day dreariness that we sometimes put up with. And, yeah, if you watched any of the ABC coverage, I was in the location where Adrian Bankert was, which was along the Kings Road route. That's the way that the carriage took Meghan and Harry after the ceremony, and then it looped back up and around up the long walk. So it was really something special, and we had a very close view, and the people who were there and out and about that day, about 100,000 of them, they were having a great time. I mean, it was like a big, giant tailgate. They had champagne bottles and picnic baskets, and they had beach balls, and they were watching it on the big screen, and they just had a wonderful time.
It was a very traditional as well as untraditional service, correct?
It was traditional yet unconventional. I mean, let's start off from just that dress. I mean, the dress had this timeless quality to it that, it was simple. It was totally Meghan. It didn't have all the lace or the poofiness that Diana's dress had, but yet it had that veil that was huge and long that reminded you, yep, this is a royal wedding, and let's not forget it. And then you had, her walking up the aisle by herself with the page boys holding the veil, not girls. And then she went with Prince Charles for the second half of the ceremony, and that was unconventional. Then, you had that sermon by the Reverend Michael Curry. That was just... People were just, can you imagine? There's a little tiny area of St. George's Chapel, okay? It's an above-ground thing. You can look down on it. And Queen Victoria used to sit up there and watch church service when it was there going on. There's actually a secret door that it takes to get you around to the other part of Windsor Castle. She would walk there so no one would see her after Prince Albert died and sit up there in that little room. And all I could think of was her sitting there watching this going, what is going on? What is going on? She'd probably have the same look on her face that Queen Elizabeth did, which was sort of like, okay, not what we expected.
It really, just for the whole historical nature of it, right? Here's a prince marrying an American, a true American, right? I mean, she is the definition of an American, right? A mixed child from mixed races, an actress coming over. I mean, that's about as 21st century as it gets.
Well, yeah. I mean, her mom's African American. Her dad and they were in L.A. They divorced at a young age. I mean, there's so many things about her that she had written to that soap company early on when she was like 11, saying that she thought their commercial was sexist, and she was clearly something different. And I think that you're going to see a lot of change in the royal family, but still keeping with that tradition. You're not going to see her go crazy or nuts, but I do think that it's going to be very different. And they're holding off on their honeymoon. They have their first appearance tomorrow, their official appearance at Prince Charles's birthday, and you're going to see them all around the world because he was named like the junior head of the Commonwealth, and she will be traveling to all these Commonwealth nations, and I think you're going to see a lot of them and their charity endeavors as well.
Did I read that she is the same age as Princess Diana when she died?
36.
36.
Age 36, yeah, and Harry's 3 years younger than her. He's 33.
Wow. Sherry Preston, great stuff. Thanks for checking in.
Take care.
ABC News correspondent in New York, Sherry Preston.